To start off this second session, we have a lady who is quite proud to call herself a geek. She is a social media expert, a social artist, an experienced designer, and in fact one of the key designers behind the Narrative Cafe this afternoon. And she's going to be talking to us about wealth, but also gamification and some of the trends that we're going to see. So before Ferananda takes the stage, we're going to show a short video. Let's have a look at the video, and then we'll welcome Ferananda to the stage. So. Gentlemen from Mexico, from Oregon, from Siri, please welcome Ferananda Ibarra.
I love the story of the universe. It's so inspiring for me. And I love the story of the evolution of our planet. Isn't it amazing? And what does it have to do with a presentation about gamification and wealth? Well, because a deep understanding of evolution will allow us to design a different form of civilization. And we really need that, don't we? I mean, we hear all these trends like take climate change. I know some people really like it hot, but seriously, guys, I mean, we need to design the future that we want, and we need to enact it. So, for gamification, what I deeply want to transmit today is that its deeper evolution and meaning, its purpose as a driver for evolution. So I'm gonna tell a story. And the story begins this way. There is a gravitational pull from the universe towards goodness, truth, and beauty. We heard today about truth, good, and beauty. And let's unfold this story a bit more. Steve McIntosh argues that evolution generates value by ever-widening realizations of truth, good, and beauty. And that is what wealth is. And that is what we're striving for. Another step further, Ken Wilber, one of the greatest visionaries of our time, he says that conscious business takes into account the good, the true, and the beautiful as it expresses through self, culture, and nature. So let's take the self, let's take the I, radical expression, beauty, my inner self, my subjectivity. And the we, culture, that what we create when we live together, the wonder of the we, goodness. And the reality principle said today, Jean-Francois, and that is the external forms that we observe is not only nature systems, but also social systems and infrastructure and technology. It's nature. Look at those beautiful patterns and how we are recreating as we observe nature. So what I want to do next is to look at self, culture, and nature. And we're going to see at some examples of how it's been applied in creating experiences of gamification that create market differentiation and also nourish the world. So first, we're going to have a small description of what gamification is. And a description is it's applying game dynamics to non-gamifying context, not gaming context. For example, culture change inside an organization, personal development, branding, social actions. And if you haven't seen a lot of badges running around, these are called badges, you've probably seen points on leaderboards, your kid probably plays with them, and we'll see more and more of that emerge. Now, I love playing. And I especially love the smart apps, the smartphone applets that come with my phone. And the kind of gamification that really calls for me is those that create some kind of experience, that allow me to transcend mind, that extend the reach of who I am, that extend my capacities to connect and my knowledge and my influence. And I especially like when they serve me to go into inner journeys that produce a deep catharsis or a transformation as I gain mastery, as I play. So let's do this. We're going to go through self first. So self. People, more and more people value the experiences of the I. We value more personal development. People always want to improve their conditions. And one of the things that improves is the definition of improvement itself. There's constantly new ideals, new truths. And gamification is here to support you in your personal development. So let's look at some examples. We see here the Nike gold bracelet, and what they did is they use a gamified feedback to help 5 million users to break their fitness goals, to beat their fitness goals every day of the year. And Photography, that's one of my favorite apps in fitness. And I love it because I can track my activities. And when I track my activities, I get points. And when I get points, I also get props. Props are like the likes in Facebook. It's a way of measuring wealth. And these props, what I love about it is that a way to celebrate people's actions, people's activities. People support each other. You know, we do quests and we do challenges, and there's this culture of support because, you know, there's people from all realms of life, but we have this one thing in common. We love fitness and we want to keep supporting one another in our goals. In the realm of cosmetics, one of the trends that we're seeing emerge in the realms of beauty is new narratives of beauty. And this trend was made visible by the Real Beauty Shines campaign of Dove, who got 163 million views in YouTube alone. Imagine if they would have created an app like the Photography for Beauty. I mean, I could perfectly see my 12-year-old child, who's starting to be a teenager, to be supported by a brand in her evolution. Not only to sell her cosmetics, but, you know, there's a trend of do-it-yourself, and there's a trend of being sharing content. And, you know, what if they would help her really reach her highest potential? Imagine that kind of experience. Imagine how loyal people would be. So culture is the we, and is the ways of belonging, creates really a sense of something wider than ourselves. And there is much happening in the realms of culture. So let's take, for example, yes, I'm going to speak about this first. It's like, nowadays people go to look for jobs that really support more of who they are. You don't want to get into the office and let nobody see you. You want it to be supported in your higher self. So one of those examples is Aetna Insurance, who are helping their employees and they're helping their customers by using this Mind Bloom game app to go into healthier habits and healthier fitness goals. So it's really a win-win solution. And this is one of my favorite, compassion games. Survival of the kindest. What they did is that they create challenges every year, and they go into an 11-day challenge where people go and see the actions, compassionate actions, and they go for their actions, and then they get points, and then they measure, as Adipat says, and they can tell which has been the most compassionate city of the year. It's really amazing, and creating experiences inside jails that transform people's lives. And let's take one step further. We can use gamifying experiences to solve real-world challenges, because gamers are catalysts and problems become fun challenges to solve. And we have many, many examples of this. This is my child. And what is amazing of these times is that we can literally connect to the intelligence out there. And it's not an alien or ET coming, it's really an intelligence in the edges. Now, the last part of this story is nature. Have you seen how much the sustainability bug is growing? Well, Jay Hartman, a biomimicry says, if we're not sustainable, that means we're terminal. So I think we're pretty terminal now, and we don't want that. And that's why people are moving and taking actions. They're not waiting for companies to change. Really, people are changing their habits and their lifestyles because we are in the pursuit of our higher values. It's up to the companies to catch that wave. And in regards of the technology trends, what we're seeing right now is we're entering into an age of sensors. We have more and more sensors that allows us to see flows that we didn't see before. So this is an example. It's called the Green Guides app. And you're able to scan the barcode, and it will tell you what is the company doing in regards to social and environmental issues. And it's also going to tell you how much they care about your health. That is impressive. And really, the beauty and cosmetics database is pretty amazing and pretty solid. Another trend that we're seeing is that we're entering into this multi-screen world. So people are connecting through iPads or tablets and smartphones, and they're on their computer and they're on their TV, and they're looking at the TV and connecting to their phones as well. And so we're entering into an age where our attention is much more diverse. The beauty brand Sephora has really clicked into this trend, and they're creating a seamlessly transparent experience through multiple devices and as also in their shopping centers. So they're really, really connecting into this trend. And one beautiful, beautiful campaign is a Burberry Kisses campaign. And what Burberry did is that they wanted to develop beautiful and emotional experiences through multiple screens and devices. And the deal was that you were to send a real kiss, a letter with your real kiss in it. And what they did is what Adipat said again, is like the measure. And they measured where all these kisses went. And what you're seeing here is a map of those kisses. Isn't it beautiful? So what we've seen today is that wealth is about ever widening realizations of goodness, truth, and beauty. And you can create games for that. You can't design for that. And that is what conscious business is. And that is what conscious markets value. So if you are to design, I will tell you this. Reach to the stars. Generate wealth. And wealth will become the ladder of your own ascent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ferananda. So what we see here is experience is so much more than product. Product is no longer enough. It's all about the overall value that we bring, the experience that people have when interacting with your product, and frankly, that's just as much in business to business as it is in business to consumer. That's really important for us. And all of these trends, the gamification, we can look to use that. And there are many brands I know which are using that for their own benefit. So I hope that inspires you to consider how you can reach out and really touch your customers and create an experience which goes beyond just the transaction.